that's all I have for tonight. I'm gonna take off. It's late. If my parents find out that I'm up at 3:20 in the morning. Oof. Which means I will be seeing you later. Well, would you look at that? Excuse me. I was so into this research thing that I didn't notice I already had the 6,000 tech points. Okay, maybe I did, but the point is, we can get farming technology now. And after that, I think I'll ignore fertility for a while. I'll go for the 7,500 next, get these two, hold off on this. You'll see why in just a moment. For now... what could this mean? Well, at any rate, the next advancement in farming technology comes after 50,000 tech points. Youch. Notice anything different? That's right. The soil is now fertile enough to give us crops. In 99 minutes, that's what we'll have. I think we'll be able to last that long. Let's see how everyone's doing in the skills department. Let's see, she's almost at master level. This guy will be grown in another 5 game years. I think I might actually want to have him build instead of heal. I know there's nothing to build, but by the time he's grown, there might be. This guy's almost master scientist. This guy's not even close to master farmer. She's close to master scientist, but dang. I'm gonna really need to give her a break once she reaches master science. Excuse me, but I want you, Tomi, to show the villagers a couple new ways you can gain farming skill. The first is watering crops. You can either get him to do this automatically, or you can put him on the well, and he'll mysteriously procure a bowl full of water, and he'll walk it down to the field here. Again, since it's not going to get us any actual food though, so it's pretty much useless, but it is a slightly faster way of getting farming skill than what we had before. However, if there's still berries around, he's going to prefer to get farming skill that way. But watch how quickly he does this. 1, 2, 3, 4, and he's done. And he improved at farming. Now he knows that he can water crops automatically in order to conserve berries and get some farming experience. Another thing that he can do is plant crops, which is even quicker than that. For one thing, he doesn't have to go very far. And in 1, 2, 3, 4. He's done just as fast, except that he didn't have to go to and come back from the well. However, he's not gonna... Oh. Well, I was about to say that he wouldn't do this by himself, but I guess he will. Never mind. Normally, though, they don't do this by themselves, but I guess now that I've taught him to plant crops, he's gonna want to do it on his own for a little while. This will be a great way for him to gain some farming experience and become a master farmer sooner. By the way, the timer on here, it's a lot more accurate. It rounds up to about 3 minutes, depending on the game speed you've got, but You know what, I think I'd rather have you polish off that berry bush. We're looking pretty low on food. The point is, in 95 minutes we'll have more berries, but I think I'm gonna put the game back on pause so I can go and get some work done. See you later, everybody. Alright, Sedna here for another State of the Village address. What happened was, while I was researching, Baba here reached Master Scientist level, but I noticed she was weakened. Idou was almost a Master Scientist, he was close, but I found him with none of this. It was just this. This was all gone, and I thought, oh my god, this guy's nearly dead. So, I started a rigorous campaign of force-feeding him, which dwindled my food supplies. This guy is now really worried about food, so I'm forcing him to use up the last of the reserves on this bush. And I'm force-feeding this guy. He really wants to go back to work at the research table, but I'm not letting him. Unfortunately, I couldn't give Baba too much feeding because there wasn't much food left, so she's gonna have to stay weakened, unfortunately. I'm hoping to get this guy at a level where I can have him do science a bit more and then still survive to become a master scientist. And I'm gonna have this guy empty out the bush, whether he wants to or not. And I am aggressively looking for mushrooms all the while. I've been really lax in the mushroom department. So there's the downside to my strategy. Do not, I repeat, do not work your researchers to death. If you think that they might be weakening themselves, keep an eye on their health. And bring them back to eat every now and then, even if your food supplies are low. Perhaps it would be a waste to get the 7,500 tech points to get this and this, but these will get me new projects, which will increase the vitality of my village in other ways. So hopefully they'll increase everyone's lifespan, you know, make it easier for this guy to stay healthy. See, this guy wants to water crops. I have to keep bringing him back to the bush. And we still have an hour to go before we have crops. The crops are going to help us, but it's not going to be as helpful as you think. So, we're in pretty much the biggest rough patch of the game. But once we get this 50,000 tech points, things are gonna go a lot better. We'll be pretty much out of the woods once we get this. So, let's all sit tight. I'll give you an update soon. See you. Idou is a master scientist, so I think his job right now should probably be eating. After that, it'll be healing. But unless I find something else for him to work on building-wise. The bush doesn't have a lot of berries left, so I'll either have this guy just kind of planting the fields, working on his farming skill, or I'll get him to do that last bit of research needed for the 7,500 tech points. This guy's the only one, the only adult in the village without any research training. In fact, all three of the others are master researchers now. These two ladies are nearly master doctors as well, so they have to either farm or build after this, or have babies, but we don't have enough food for that. So, 5 more trips and he should be done getting the berries. And this guy needs to keep eating. He's one of the 2 least healthy people in the village right now. Well, crops only have a few minutes, so won't take long for the crops to sprout up after the berry bush is depleted. So, yeah, I guess I probably will have plant on the field. That's not going to make the crops come up any faster, but it's not going to have much other farming activities to do anyway, so I'll wait before training these men. So, I'll see you all in just a bit.